Hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad, and today I'm going to be doing some more Oscilio gameplay. So, I've been slowly losing my mind over the past couple of days, both in Flesh and Blood and outside of Flesh and Blood. And I've been working on this kind of like oops all instance kind of game plan. So, I have a couple little updates to the list. So, we're trimming down on the blue blasts. I still think they are quite fun, so I want to find kind of room for them. But I think that six blast may be pushing it a little bit too much. Also cutting down on like some of like the smaller instants, like null shock, that kind of thing. Adding in, I can't actually remember what's different from this list to the previous. It might be main deck spindle. It might be uh, something else even. Someone can tell me in the comments what I'm doing wrong. Actually, it might even be the sigil aether. But the plan here is basically roughly the same, which is just find your best cards as fast as possible. I've also been working on the sideboard. So I've got some E-Strikes and Fates because I've been just getting constantly bodied by any deck that has any form of disruption. Namely looking at kind of like Succumb to Temptation, Weakest Link, just any deck that where I expect disruption, I want to kind of bring in kind of like the E-Strike, the React package, even though it's not like amazing just because it kind of bricks you with the Cilio a little bit. In the sideboard, we also have Robo Rapture, which I have been testing, although I don't know who this is supposed to be for other than like the slowest decks possible, basically. And I don't even know if we need it in that case. It's kind of. So the problem with this card, obviously, when you declare it to Blossom of Spring, is the go again part, so it eats your action point to gain 3 resources. So having a little bit of trouble finding room to actually play this, but because everything is generally quite fast and disruptive, at least in the current meta. Mainly, I think that's to deal with Enigma and also just like go fast is good. But yeah, this is the deck I'm going to work with. Again, still waiting to play the Taylor Crawford util list, but I want to give them time to obviously make their video. But fortunately, I've been informed that we only have to wait 2 more hours. So I'm very excited that in the next 2 hours we will be able to play this list on the YouTube. Yeah, but with that, we'll go ahead and get into the games. All right, playing against a KO. I think against KO we're fine going first. Blossom String's probably good. Balance is probably good. I think the main 60 is probably fine. All right, so we have Comet Storm Shock, Flittering, Blast Oblivion. What are we doing here? I think we start off by filtering Comet Storm, see if we can find anything better. Find Gauntlet Flash, that is definitely better. We can do Flittering into Somersault, strip some cards out of their hands. And do we want to hold on to the Blast Oblivion or do we want to just not get greedy? I think not getting greedy is probably wise. Yeah, I think we're just gonna filter the blast and try to dig to our power cards like Sigil Brilliance. Yeah, my goal is to try to filter every turn. Alright, so they set up a mighty windup. At least it's not agile windup. So that's at least a little bit good for us. Alright, we have blast, we have a sigil. This is actually looking pretty good. We will probably need to take a turn off to develop this though. Just not optimal, but hey, it's okay. Pass here, see what they do. Alright, we have an agile windup. Seems good. Into an erase face. Does that actually matter for this next turn? I don't think it really does. Could try to filter the somersault for an instant, but I don't think that's really necessary here. So I think we're just gonna have our face be erased, and then we could actually end up blocking with the blue blast to develop out our embodiment. Seems kind of reasonable. And then we can filter the sigil of lightning just to, because we were already gonna have an embodiment, just draw into something better. Is that worth it? Maybe what if happens if we double block, somersault, play blast, filter? Maybe that's better, actually. So we somersault, return the two blasts, pass. We use this next turn as a setup turn. We play the blast and then the sigil of lightning. Yes, this makes sense. And then we can blast their agility. Oh, wait, that's really good. So we destroy their agility token, which is pretty sick. Develop out the embodiment for next turn. We set up a sigil in graveyard as well. All right, we draw the all sigil hand. Interesting, interesting. I would have liked one of those blasts back, actually. So maybe pitching one of them was wrong, but obviously we couldn't have known with this hand. So we are going to probably end up filtering this turn, but I'm okay to take a little bit of damage off these claws first. I want to see if they have like a disruptive effect, ideally. All right, swing big is the final thing. So let's start by cycling our high voltage and see what we draw into. Draw into another Gauntlet Flash. Okay. Interesting. What happens if we block here? Sigil, sigil. We have the embodiment pop. Like, do we need to commit to popping off next turn? We take 10, we go to 14. It's pretty likely they're able to represent 14 on a ton of cards. Well, let's block with our balance here and then see what they do. And maybe we save this as like a sec for after all these sigils of brilliance pop. So we take 8, go to 16. Draw our card. Oh, we are in business. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. This is very good. We're not... Okay, maybe we're not fully in business. Wait, maybe we're half in business. We still need our payoff, which means we should have filtered the sigil of Aether. Actually, let me see if I can undo. Sorry. So we draw this. Oh, we already filtered with Oscilio. Okay, sorry. Yeah, yeah. So we are good. So now I think we want to cycle this. Well, so the Sigil of Aether is still not bad. No, it is bad. Let's cycle the Sigil of Aether now. Oh, we find our etchings. Wait, wait, wait. We're good. Now we're gonna get at least 2 pumps from the binding, so maybe we also just use those now. Because we can blast to Oblivion through there. So popping bindings here is fine, I think. Pop Blossom, send Gauntlet Flash, and then see what they do. Although I think we should... Wait, actually, sorry. We probably should have played the one from Arsenal instead. So we'll play this one first. Because we might have to use this for resources. So we'll pass reactions here. Pop the Greaves. Play Sigil Brilliance. Return the Gauntlet Flash. We're at 2 action points. We then blast to Oblivion now. So that we draw 2 cards, one of which is a Sigil of Brilliance. We can do this in reacts, it's fine. Draw Spindle. Little clunky, but I think we're okay. Still at 2 action points. We play Gauntlet Flash now. I guess we hold this for second for next turn, maybe. Play out the return the Gauntlet Flash, play out the Sigil Brilliance. We still have 2 action points. Can replay out one more Gone Flash and then etchings for free, which would come in for a decent bit here. And then we arsenal this. Or we can... Yeah, so we can do this now, because we have the redundant Gone Flash to use a sigil off our etching. So we get the sigil of lightning now back. So we pass reacts again. We're actually not going to do anything here. Pump Volzar, send etchings for a ton of damage. Send etchings for 12. Get back our Sigil of Lightning. Oh, now we have to replay the Sigil of Lightning. So actually, was there something better? What if we don't play that Gone in a Flash? Is that actually better for us? I think it is. So now you replay out the Sigil, send Gone in a Flash. I might have punted this turn. So if we don't send the Gone in a Flash immediately right there, we can bounce, send another 8. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't know if it mattered. Alright, well, depending on what they're doing here, we're definitely looking to filter. Alright, pulping is pretty bad. They discard weakest link, though, which is, I think, okay for us. Can't block this, obviously. We're probably going to have to end up filtering at some point this turn, because I imagine they can present 9. So they are presenting 9, or... Okay, this is not presenting 9 yet, because they need at least one other thing. So we go 4, and then they have one more. Yeah, that's pretty bad. We need to cycle CLB. Alright, just draw on our blocks. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't think there was anything we could do there. I could be wrong, though. Is there a way that we missed 4 damage? I'm gonna have Tegan watch the clip back and tell me if there was a way we missed 4 damage, but yeah, we'll just go on to the next game and see how it goes. Alright, Azalea is an abysmal matchup from what I understand. So I think I want to even just test out this game plan and see if this even remotely works. So we have a D-React package, we have the E-Strikes. I'm curious if this is enough to just keep up pressure against them. I don't know if it is. Again, I've not practiced the matchup a lot. So let's start by pitching the discharge, see if we can find anything better. Obviously, 2 sigils is like really, really good here. 3 sigils. Okay. And then we can just set this up in Arsenal. That's probably the best you're going to get as a turn 1 against an Azalea, to be honest. And we still might even just get red and Eldritch here. It might not matter. This is the funny part. Alright. Red Bolt and Shot's pretty good. Alright, read the glide path. Yep. Alright, Bolt and Shot for 7. I think that's okay. Save our armor here for when they reload. We're running balance, I think, just for extra block. Might help cover like a 7 or like a 5. Like if it's remorseless or red. Alright, let's see what they get here. Get another endless arrow. Sure. Place with inertia is a little bit annoying. So we now know all their information. Let's go ahead and cycle now. Okay, I kind of wish that this was Flash of Brilliance. That might be good sideboarding information. So if this was Flash of Brilliance, this hand would just probably, well, no, it wouldn't even get that close to killing them. So what if we block with Bindings here, because we're at least guaranteed to get 2 sigil value, which I think is worth it. So we're getting 3 value on this piece of equipment. I don't think we need to block further. Maybe we can just save it for breakpoints or something. Going to 23 with inertia is quite bad. Oh, we can blast our inertia though. It's true. Alright, let's pop our bindings because we know we're casting a spell this turn, and then let's see what we get here. Alright, we get a high voltage, and then we get another mind warp. Oh, the spells are being mean to me today. It's like 4 spells. Jesus. Okay, so play here is what? Do we even try to pop Greaves on this? It feels so bad, but maybe it's right. But we don't have the embodiment set up too, which is really unfortunate. Do we cycle here? Feels so bad. No, I don't think we do. Maybe we just have to pop Greaves and live with our decision here. So let's go ahead and start with the blast. We pitch a Mind Warp to the Lightning Greaves. Yeah, it feels really bad to pop Greaves here, but I think we don't really have a choice if we want to just do anything this game. Turn the blast to hand. We can then, so we have an embodiment established. We replay out the Sigil Conductivity, blast, high voltage. We're getting a lot of Volzar counters. I guess the question is to what effect. We basically pop Greaves for not much return in our value. Like we generally want our Gone in the Flash back. Even though this is like a cool turn, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a good turn. We also do get a lot of Aether Bindings counter. I don't know. Maybe this was actually fine. Maybe I'm being a little too critical of myself. So if we actually spindle now, get the Aether Bindings pump, then we etchings afterwards. Is that better? I think so. Like split up the damage a little bit. Because we definitely want the etchings to hit. Okay, so we need to figure out a way to kill them with all these cards. Gone in a Flash does not do a ton. Well, it's actually still not terrible, honestly. We're drawing 5. Alright, we're going to bottom the blue blast because we have a red blast. We're going to bottom the sigil because we don't really need the life gain against Azalea. Etchings, I think, is okay. High voltage is probably unnecessary given their equipment suite. Lightning press is also medium here. So we can bottom the press and then we draw our thing this turn, or we set it up. Well, we have inertia too. No, this is fine. So we top all of these. It doesn't really matter what order because we're drawing the card, I guess. We replay out Sigil Conductivity, Volzar Pump, send etchings. The inertia pops. We're not going to have an arsenal. We replay out the Sigil grind. So we have a 5-card hand. I'm not sure if that's even the correct 5-card hand. But I don't think this is terrible. Maybe I could have done better. It felt like that, it felt like popping Greaves there was probably correct. Like, even though we didn't have Gone. Maybe I'm too attached to, like, popping Greaves with the Gone in a Flash in hand. So this is pre-face up scalers. So I'm not going to bother with this. If they, like, I want to save the armor for if I actually need to block something. And I try to top the Gone in a Flash so that we could save the 5 armor block if we need to block out, like, Remorseless or something. Alright, Razor's fine. Yeah, so this is expected. All right, hopefully they can't present 17 here with a disruptive effect. Okay, it looks like they're probably going to be able to, though, which is unfortunate. All right, red in the ledge. Yep. This matchup is brutal. So we have an etchings on top. Does that help us? So these are instants, notably. So we draw the etchings off the Sigil Brilliance. We have one other unknown card. Should we have played around like the possibility of getting a red ledger by keeping the lightning press? It's kind of interesting. So here, what do? Blocking does effectively nothing. We can go to. We can spam spells. Well, we can cycle here too, but we're going to be reducing our instant count. But the blink doesn't really do much anyways, I guess. It's probably a winnable path here, but again, Red Ledger is quite rough. I guess we're blocking with Gone in a Flash just to save a little bit of life. I don't see how Gone in a Flash actually benefits us this turn. I think we wanted that Lightning Press potentially. Yeah. Also, we probably should have cycled end of turn. Well, I'm not sure. We maybe should have cycled at the end of the turn there, but holding on to Blink just to send some pressure seems okay. And then we Arsenal Blast, I guess. Not crazy about this. We do still have a lot of reacts, so if they can't dominate something at us, maybe we draw into a hand that blocks pretty well and we can start to claw our way back from there. Again, this doesn't feel... I feel like I'm not piloting this incredibly well this game. We'll not pay 3. We'll Arsenal or Blast. Okay, we did draw the all-react hand. Fortunately, we're facing down a battering bolt. Oh god, this deck is so fucking troll. It's so funny. God, this deck is so hard. Or I'm just bad. One of the two. Probably both. So Rav, there's a lace on top. Okay. So I think we do want to maybe just Fate Foreseen here and see if we can filter. Sigil of Solace help us in any way, shape, or form. Potentially. Potentially. Honestly, it's probably not terrible. Alright, we have an Azalea on the lace. That's fine. So my logic with keeping the Sigil there is we can blast at least something. What if we double synced, put the Comet Storm? Yeah, we'll just pass here. This was kind of the game plan into is it like again, I don't think I played this game particularly well. So we have now the Lace with Inertia coming in. We have our Sigil Solace on top. We can double sync to at least prevent lethal. We can draw our Sigil. The Razor's over for 2, which is fine. We will get our Inertia, but I wasn't really planning on keeping all these cards anyways. Then we're drawing into one other random thing. So I guess we'll see what that thing is first. CLV is not bad. Okay. Maybe this is winnable. Or maybe it has been winnable. I could have entirely fucked up these last couple turns. Tunic is interesting. Oasis? Oh, I guess... maybe for arcane damage. Yeah, sure. That's fine. So... they're blocking here. That means we're not going to be able to use CLV effectively. So I think we need to pitch it now. Find an E-strike. Can send E-strike for 7. Is that worth it? I mean, what else are we doing, right? We can maybe try to kill him with a shock on their turn. They are on AB1, so if we find one lightning spell, we can get there. Okay, we did find the shock. That's good for us, or it will be good for us, I guess. I know I punted this game somehow. I just don't know where. So hopefully they tap out here. That'd be ideal. Oh, they did. Cool. So now we killed them, right? Play Sigil Lightning. Play Comet Storm Shock. Pump it. Oh, we actually barely got there. Oh, this gameplay is leaves a little bit to be desired. I want to try one more. All right, we got a KO. So I think we just want the full aggro package. We want our Blossom and our Balance, most likely. Try to get a little bit better at sideboarding, but this deck is quite difficult. We are going second, which I don't think is ideal, especially on this version of the deck. And this is part of the reason why, but at least we will be able to spam a bunch of stuff out at the end of the turn if we want to. Alright, they're choosing Gogan as the mode. Probably want to filter something here. I guess it just depends what. Alright, well, we're not blocking here very well. So there's that. I guess we're just going to spam out a bunch of spedrels at the end of the turn and take million damage. Sorry, we can undo the bullseye real quick. And then play on null. Yeah, this deck does not block incredibly well. So we go to 23, but we do have 2 sigils set up. We'll respond here actually with the CLV and see if they want to take them off a card. They could give us the Sprawl Party Gloves here as well. Alright, so they do pay into that. Now I think we want to filter one of our sigils. Find an Etchings, which is good. We do have another Sigil Lightning in the graveyard, so I guess we can fry up and then play Sigil out, Etchings, get back a Sigil for Arsenal. Or we can also get a CLV trigger, right? So this is actually quite good. So we get our CLV trigger. We find a Gone in a Flash, okay. Maybe trying to cook something here. So we replay out the Sigil, pump Volzar, send Etchings, play out another Sigil. Play out Sigil Aether, I guess. It's not a terrible turn 2, although we're not able to keep the CLV around just based on our hand. Okay, this is potentially the makings of a pretty good hand here. Actually, I think it's a great hand. The problem here is that don't currently have like an outlet for like arcane damage, but I think we are just gonna go ahead and block here. The question is bindings versus Greaves. We're gonna have a lot of sigils at the end of our next turn. Like a lot of sigils. We don't have an arcane outlet other than the Sigil of Aether here. And I don't know if it's worth it to pop bindings right now, so I think we're just going to block one. Take 7, go to 16. And then end of turn, I think we can maybe filter and try to find an outlet. So the card we least want is the Sigil Conductivity, probably because we already have one. Okay, we find the Blast. Okay, this is actually the perfect hand. So we do want to pop Bindings, or we do not want to pop Bindings? I think we do want to pop Bindings. So we'll let the Sigil pop, and then Sigil Aether will come in for 2. We'll target them. We're amping an additional 1 here. We pop our Blossom, play out Gone. Pass reacts, Electrostatic, return it to hand. Play out Gone. Oh, sorry, fuck. I missed my grease. That's fine. We might need one more action point here. But that's okay. This is the wrong step, I think, right? Yes, reactions. So now we pass, do this. Sigil Brains trigger, or Sigil Brains resolves, we get an action point. We then play out Blast to Oblivion. Play out another Sigil. Bounce the Sigil Brilliance. Get a Spindle. Okay, that's quite good. Then we can not replay this out. We should just Spindle now. Yeah, I fucked up this turn slightly just because of my sequencing, but that's okay. We'll just pump Volzar and then send Spindle for 1 billion, and they should be pretty close to dead if they're not. Okay, and now I get to opt forever. We'll bottom. Christ, I don't know. Bottom this. Don't need Sigil of Solace, probably. Blast Oblivion's fine. Rather just have an outlet than these, honestly. Second God Flash is also redundant. Maybe this is good enough, honestly. Is this good enough? Maybe this is fine. Let's just top 4 and see how it goes. Alright, they pass. Start with the embodiment. We then play out Blast. We press the Blast. Turn this back to hand, make another thing. Then you can do Garner Flash, Pass Reacts, Discharge, return the Garner Flash. And then we pry, come in for 6. Play out Garner Flash. We can strip at least 1 card out of their hand. So you have 4 card 16 and then also live through Null Shock or something else. Okay, I think I could have sequenced this better on that 1 turn where I missed the action point off the Greaves, but I think we're okay here. And this is like a crazy hand. Okay, 6. It's fine here. The Claw will block the Claw. Yeah, we can't really block this anyways, so we go to 9. We pass, we can filter, press. Brilliance, that's good. Then we'll do Gone, blink it a bunch of times, win the game. Yeah, seems like they're off it. Makes sense. Good game. I think we're going to wrap up the recording for today. Thank you all for watching. Pretty sweet games for today. This deck is agonizing to play sometimes, especially just when you're mentally not there. So thank you all for bearing with me while I try to learn this stupidly hard deck. This deck is giving me a lot of trouble. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.